So I've been looking at pre-orders for 2027 and one planner keeps coming back into my mind. And not because it's actually the planner I'm currently using. I did buy it for 2026. However, what I realized is I was trying to use it for the wrong purpose. The reason I'm choosing this or considering it again for 2027 is because it does something I think a lot of us need more of, and that's reflection. A few years ago, I bought the Hemlock Oak planner, and I did buy it for 2026 in the minimalist vertical B5 size. At the time, I thought I was buying it as my main planner, but eventually I realized that I was trying to use it for the wrong purpose. I actually took mine apart and coil bound it. I can touch on that a bit later. These come beautifully bound, either hardcover, soft cover. However, what is really drawing me back to it is the reflection pages. And lately, as I've been thinking about my planner lineup, what I want for next year is I found myself wanting those pages again. So on the Hemlock and Oak page, this is a Canadian company, which I think is great. They already have their 2027 pre orders available. There's a number of new formats, and I'm looking down here to find the one that's drawing me. Weekly planner, horizontal planner. So again, there's different layouts. There's Sunday start and Monday start, depending on your preference. My choice would be, we'll go to the vertical layouts. All right, so here is the 2027 weekly planner. And you can choose whether you're wanting a softer cover or hard cover. And scrolling to the bottom, there's actually an opportunity to give it a flip through or download the PDF. So we're going to flip through together and I'll show you what is drawing me back. Because one of the favorite sections that I like is the reflection pages. So this isn't just a planner, it actually allows you to review and reflect. And that I'm very much drawn to. So at the start here, there's a note before you begin, and I love these reflection pages. The identifying values, I think, is a very valuable exercise. And then there's the goal setting as well. So now we're looking at the future planning. Most planners don't have this detailed a layout to guide you through setting goals. And then habit cultivation. So this is wonderful if you're wanting to cultivate new habits. There's trackers, what can be adjusted, and celebrating positive aspects of the journey. I think this is a wonderful section. Now, these are the parts that I really love to overview for the month ahead. What intentions do you have for the month? What milestones are you focusing on? These are really great to give us that guidance to be able to plan, but very few planners help us understand what's actually working. So that was our plan ahead. Now there's the review. So write down memorable moments, what gave you energy this month, what drained you, and a lesson or thought or growth moment from this month. I think these are wonderful pages. And honestly, it's become a big part of how I think about building a life that actually works. Not constantly adding more, not constantly optimizing, not chasing some perfect routine, but really identifying what's working, what's giving us energy, what's draining us, what we want more of. And those answers can tell us quite a lot. So, how I would use this is if I were to use something like this today, what I would do is focus on it as a yearly snapshot, really a reflection book, a memory book, and a place to capture the lessons, milestones, wins, experiences, and the bigger picture of the year. So, something I could look back on years from now and remember what life actually felt like. These are the pages that are really drawing me back. And what color I would get? Very likely, I'm leaning towards one of the cloth covers or the Paperflex cover. And I really like the blueberry or the plum. So while I'm still deciding what my 2027 planner lineup looks like, this is definitely one that's back on my radar. Not because it's perfect, but because it asks questions that matter. And sometimes the best planning isn't about what comes next. It's about understanding where you are right now. Thanks for watching. And I'd love to know, do you use reflection pages in your planning system?